Okay. Hey everyone, welcome to the stream. Tonight, in tonight's live stream, I'm Danny Xander, or Daniel, and if you're into sound design, you're in the right place. Tonight we're going to be diving into Reaktor and creating a rich, expressive pad sound. I'm going to be quick, fun, and super, hopefully inspirational, and hopefully this will be useful in your everyday music production. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe for sound design production tips, and feel free to drop any questions in the chat as we go along. So, all right, let's get started. First, we're going to set up our patch for a pad sound. So we'll need a few basic building blocks. When you open up Reaktor, you'll be greeted with a page that looks something like this page that's going to open up. So this, something like that. And you have several options. One is to play instruments that are already in Reaktor. One is to patch them together. And another is to use, build custom instrument sounds and effects in Reaktor using primary and using blocks. So today we have the most flexibility with this option. So we're going to use the build section. We're going to jump in the build section and we're going to grab a few modules from the player section that we need. And that's going to be, first of all, our note in, so that we can get notes into the computer. So we bring up a note in, and the next thing we're going to need is an oscillator. So let's grab our favorite oscillator. Just going to grab a oscillator. Then we're going to grab a filter. So we're going to need a filter next. And after we grab a filter, we can then grab an LFO. And finally, we'll grab an amp. So we've got the components of a basic synthesizer, and we dragged all the modules in. Now it's time to connect them up. So we're going to drag them in, and we're going to connect up our patches. Connect the pitch to the pitch, in to in, and finally out to our VCA. We're going to connect our LFO to our oscillator because we're going to modulate the pitch. So if we turn this up, you'll be able to hear it sound. And you can already hear it's modulating, but let me turn it off so you can hear it without it. You can change the waveform. So we've got our modules connected in. Now we can dive into the actual sound design part. So this is the part where we actually need to design our sounds. So now we've got it. We've got an oscillator. Let's dial in a wave or a saw wave. So once we've got a saw wave in, it's perfect for warm and lush pad sounds. The next thing we're going to add in is a low pass filter. So we're going to slowly bring down the cutoff of the filter so that we can remove some of the harshness and the high frequencies. Also, routing the LFO to the filter allows us to add some gentle movement there. So we're going to actually route another LFO to the filter. So I don't know if you can hear it, but we routed an LFO to the filter. Let's bring up the pitch so you can hear it. So, don't want to make it too loud. So, we've got a pitch there. We're going to add an envelope control because I want to be able to control the notes that are going into the actual amp. So now we're going to actually organize our panel a little bit so that we have things in the order they need to be in. So we're going to name our LFOs. So this will be our LFO 1. We'll call this LFO 1. And we'll call this, or not LFO 1, we'll call this filter LFO. A little more descriptive. And then we'll call this amp ADSR. And then we'll continue building. So we've got our filter LFO, amp ADSR, and we organized our panels so that things are in the correct order. And now we will continue with our sound design. So we can use this panel, or we can use, we can use this panel. It's a little easier to see like this, so that's why I'm showing it like this. So we're moduling that filter right now. Let's add an oscillator. Let's add an LFO to that. Let's name our filter LFO. This is our LFO 1. Filter LFO. Okay, good. We'll leave this actually how it's named because it makes sense. Bento box LFO going into the oscillator. The LFO is going into the filter, and this amp ADSR is going to the amp. So we'll continue with our build, and now we've got a pitch, and we can add some expressive elements to make it more expressive. So let's route velocity to the cutoff filter. So let's see what we can do here. So the cutoff filter is here. We're gonna leave it as it is, and we're just gonna play around with it, see what we can get to come out of this. Let's see. Let's route one more LFO to the frequency modulation, or we just use the same one. So let's see. Undo that. let's see if we can change that timbre up a little bit, adding some effects. So let's see what we got here that we can add. Really change that timbre a little bit. So I'm gonna add in a monarch. Let's change out the filter maybe. Let's change it, or envelope. Let's change out the envelope for another one. Let's add this monarch envelope. So there. And let's play our sound again. Gives a different texture. Oops, supposed to be gate. Let's try something else. Let's send it to another one. Just experimenting. So send that out to that. So there we have it. We've got some kind of expressive pad sound that we can pretty much use in anything we want. You can feel free to add some distortion or any other effect that you think will add to the texture. So we're just going to add this for effect, really. There we have it. So feel free to make this as expressive as you want. Add anything that you feel would make it add more texture. And if you enjoyed this production, if you enjoyed this, feel free to use it for pads, ambient tracks, cinematic scores, or even adding it into your own productions. And really, if you did enjoy this, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss out on the next live stream. I'll be back tomorrow with another Reaktor sound design session. And if you have any questions or ideas for future sessions, please drop them in the comments or chat. And thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you in the next one. So happy sound designing.